Hello, my name is Adam Witt, and I want to admit that I made a mistake as when I was doing my countdown, I was starting at 15 and got done with 14 when I was at 16 and then did 15 because we were talking about Super Mario 3D World, 3D Land, and I made a little boo-boo on that. So that was kind of my mistake. Now, if I'd made any more mistakes and I'm kind of lost in this series, sorry. Um, Again, I'm human, make mistakes, so we're going to just try to fix this as much as we can. So I'm hoping if I go to 14, we should be right on track. So, again, pardon my mistakes on this. So without further ado, let's go back to the countdown and get this back on track. The next game I'm going to do is a very another rare gem. Not a lot of people got this game, and the honest truth is I would love to see some of the characters back in this game because I think these two characters made this game really good, and I cannot remember their names off the top of my head, so if someone could put me a post on there naming those characters, that would be awesome. So, so the next countdown game is Mario RPG. Mario RPG was the actually first game that I'm thinking of that was actual RPG game. Then we went to things like Paper Mario, and then we had some DS games here and there that were also RPGs. So we did get a little bit of RPG out of our Mario games and stuff, and that's what made a big move for Mario, and it was one of the biggest moves in the world. My biggest problem is that we had two characters, and like I said, I can't remember the names off the top of my get go, but we saw them once in one game, and then we never heard about it anymore, and it was just kind of like they were pretty good characters. Maybe not the best Mario characters for a lot of games and stuff, but I thought that they should have had a reappearance somehow in other games and stuff, you know. I mean, they had their merit, they had their, thing and stuff. I mean, not put it back maybe in Mario games like the action games and stuff, but more like like Mario Party, Mario Tennis, or baseball. Having those guys up to bat kind of thing. Like others, just those games and stuff. Because I look at a lot of games and stuff, it's like, well, then we got Waluigi, who never has had a video game, where he's been in yet, and yet he's a character that's unlockable in every game and stuff, and it's like, well, what video game did he, you know, start branching off a little bit and whatnot? So there's a little bit of like what's kind of going on with a lot of characters we unlock in our video games and stuff, and it's like, so they made a very good appearance in this game, and then you never hear from them again, and then you got one person who hasn't played, who hasn't actually been a character in one game yet, and yet he's on a lot of other games and stuff as well. So there was a lot of confusion in that. But now let's get out of the character mode and stuff and getting into the game in itself. It was a very good RPG game. It was, when I actually got this game and stuff, it was just one of those games where it was just awesome, And being this was my, I think this was my third RPG game, because I was doing like Pokemon games on top of Shining Force games on top of Mario RPGs, so I knew what I was getting myself into and stuff like that. And out of all these RPG games that were out there and stuff, Mario RPG was probably one of the easiest ones, because it was not so more into, hey, let's capture Pokemon, or when it comes to Shining Force, it's like, alright, now you got all these characters and you're trying to, move them in a certain area, and then you got to figure out how to protect one of your pawns from getting killed and whatnot, because if it gets killed, then the game is officially over. Mario RPG was its own thing, you know. It was really a game in its time and stuff. So it was kind of a good thing that we had, you know, this game and stuff. And I think it really did a good job introducing RPGs to a lot of people and stuff, because it's kind of like, well, if you're going to go to a complicated one and you don't know where to start, you're going to get lost. But at least with Mario RPG, it kind of gave you the basic standards and the basic material you needed in an RPG game to, you know, have knowledge on what you were doing and stuff like that. So that was one of the best things that I liked about that game. It was just so exhilarating, you know. It had a lot more going for it and stuff, and I loved what we could do and stuff. And it was also for the first time too that you actually got to see Bowser in a new light, that he can be a good guy, you know, that we could be able to step him out of his comfort zone a little bit and say, hey, let's see him as being the good guy for once. Because I always kind of felt bad in a lot of Mario games that they betrayed him as a bad guy and stuff like that, and you never really put much light into it. And you're going to see a lot of games where it's like, hey, Bowser's the bad guy, but you're going to see about 2 to 3 games out there where Bowser is a decent guy if he wants to, if the cause is right. You know, that's the thing. So, and it's good that we can have that in a Mario game. So, you know, kudos to that we could, you know, make some changes, you know, have a different storyline than what we're normally used to and stuff, and yet still make a very good game and stuff, you know. And even with the bad guys in this game too, you know, like getting back to Smitty, or like, you know, the sword thing, I think that could be interpreted into a different game as well, you know, like kind of like a return thing, you know, try to do something with that. You know, we got ideas here for Mario games and stuff, and I think we're always in the same rut, but I think we need to go back to games where we had characters we haven't used in a long time and find a way to interpret them into another Mario game where it'll be a little bit more fun, relaxing, something new, something that hasn't happened in a while, and really make a good game out of it. So yeah, that's my opinion on Mario RPG, and you know, you couldn't ask for a better video game when it came to the Super Nintendo, and it was a real good eye-opener and stuff to have, you know, a game and stuff. It wasn't too challenging, and yet it wasn't too easy either. It was the in-between game that made you on your feet, and yet you didn't have to feel like you were having a heart attack every time you were playing it. So that was one of the things I liked about that game and stuff, and it was, you know, a pretty decent game all around. So that is my video on that. Thanks for your time. My name is Adam Witt, and I can't wait to do another blog with you guys.